Foreign Secretary William Hague joins us now from Westminster in third. Mr. Hague, that must hurt.
Actually, the Conservative vote is only down a couple of percent on the result 5 years ago, and no governing party has won European elections in the last 30 years. So the Conservative result has many good things about it in itself, but clearly it is significant that UKIP has won the election. We have to recognise that.
Yeah.
And I think across the whole of Europe there is deep disillusionment and disaffection with the European Union. That is very clear.
More than half of those who voted UKIP in this election voted for your party in 2010. So you must be extremely threatened by the surge in this UKIP vote as we look to a general election just a year away.
Well, it is true, of course, that if people voted UKIP in a general election instead of voting Conservative, they would end up with a Labour government. In European terms, they'd end up with the opposite of what they want, because then there would be no referendum, as well as no economic recovery, probably, in this country. So it is important in a general election that people realise it's not a free hit like a European election. A general election is a choice that changes the government or not. And under a Conservative government on the European issue, we will set out to fix the relationship between Britain and the EU and secure real change, make it work for Britain, and then give an in-out referendum so that people can decide.
That's an interesting point then, because as you say, UKIP could split your vote and therefore, you know, Labour could win a majority in a general election. Does that mean then that you're going to be doing deals locally on the ground with UKIP?
No, we don't do deals. The Conservative Party has never done deals and pacts with other parties in elections.
But you're in coalition with the Liberal Democrats, so people would say actually that's exactly what you've been doing.
Well, that was after the election result. We didn't seek in the election a coalition with the Liberal Democrats. We had to make one because of the election result. No,
so when circumstances demand, you would make a deal. So would you make a deal locally with UKIP?
We will make deals with the voters. We're not making any election deals. Let me make that absolutely clear. There will be no pact and no deals. And in any case, our electoral system in a general election doesn't lend itself to that in any case. So, no, we will stand for the things that I was just describing, that if you want a referendum on Europe, you get that by having David Cameron as Prime Minister and a Conservative government. And there's no other way you can get that. Labour and Liberals are against that. UKIP can't deliver that in a general election. So that is going to be the choice of the general election. So we will make that pact with the voters rather than a pact with other parties.
Do you think that you need to make your message clearer on the referendum? Ian Duncan-Smith said he found people who didn't even know that the Conservative Party has promised an in-out referendum, some suggesting you should bring that promise closer if you were to win the general election.
I think it's something we have to explain to the whole country. Not everybody hears it immediately, and so yes, we are going to have to work hard at explaining that to people over the coming months. We're doing that now. I'm doing that now on your programme. It doesn't mean changing the date, because as I was mentioning earlier, it's important for us to improve the relationship between the UK and the rest of the European Union and make sure that it is more competitive, more flexible, more democratically accountable than it is now, so that we can put the result of that to people in a referendum. And that's why we say have a referendum in the first half of the next Parliament before the end of the year 2017. That's the right time to do it.